Senator Susan Collins of Maine, a centrist Republican seeking another term in a predominantly Democratic state, will not be appearing alongside Vice President JD Vance during his Monday visit to Maine. Collins, who has previously diverged from President Donald Trump's legislative agenda, is a key focus for Democratic efforts in a Senate race that could influence the chamber's partisan balance. Vice President Vance's visit follows Collins' public opposition to President Trump's recent proposal for 50% tariffs on select Canadian goods, a significant issue given Maine's extensive border with Canada. Additionally, Collins has voiced concerns regarding proposed U.S. Postal Service regulations that could curtail mail-in voting, a method widely utilized by Maine residents. Vice President Vance is scheduled to deliver remarks at Compotech, a defense technology firm in Brewer, Maine. This marks his second visit to the state this year, as well as the second occasion that Collins has not joined him. When asked about her absence, Collins cited prior commitments for Monday. Senator Collins has maintained an exemplary attendance record, having participated in over 10,000 consecutive roll call votes over 3 decades in the Senate. She noted to reporters that she recently collaborated with Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, during his visit to Maine to inspect a federally supported battery storage project in Lincoln. A member of the minority of Republicans who voted to convict President Trump during his 2021 impeachment trial, Collins has on several occasions diverged from the Trump administration's positions. Speaking recently, she reiterated her opposition to the proposed tariffs on Canada, stating, "I still think imposing new tariffs on Canada is a mistake." Collins also addressed concerns regarding a proposed Postal Service rule tied to a Trump executive order that would restrict mail-in ballot delivery in states not providing voter rolls to federal agencies. Emphasizing the significance of mail-in voting for Maine's electorate, she remarked, "Mail-in ballots are very important to the people of Maine. I do not support restrictions that make it more difficult for seniors to cast votes on Election Day via the mail." She has expressed support for the House version of the Save America Act, which requires documentary proof of citizenship for voter registration and photo identification for federal elections. However, she joined several Republicans and all Democrats in voting against advancing the Senate's version of the bill, which is closely aligned with Trump administration priorities. Senator Collins has also raised objections to the administration's aggressive immigration enforcement and deportation strategies, which have drawn criticism following fatal incidents involving federal agents, including those that occurred in Minnesota and, more recently, in Biddeford, Maine. Democrats, including her chief opponent, former Maine Senate President Troy Jackson, frequently characterize Collins as aligned with Trump, highlighting her previous support for immigration and customs enforcement funding. Collins is the sole Republican senator seeking re-election in a state won by former Vice President Kamala Harris in the 2024 presidential election. Emphasizing her independence from both the president and his administration may enhance her appeal among independent and moderate Democratic voters. During his prior visit to Maine, Vice President Vance described Senator Collins as independent-minded, noting that while he sometimes wished she were more partisan, her approach aligns with Maine's political culture. He commended Collins for her effectiveness as a representative of her state. Troy Jackson, leading up to the vice president's visit, portrayed Collins as closely tied to national Republican priorities rather than focused on the interests of Maine residents. During the visit to Brewer, Vice President Vance is expected to be joined by former G.